Once upon a time, in a country long way off, ran a fine stream of water, and upon the stream there stood a mill. The miller had a very beautiful daughter. She was shrewd and clever. The miller was so proud of her that one day, when the king was hunting in the woods nearby, the miller boasted,
"My king, art thou aware that mine own daughter could spin gold out of straw?"
Now this king was very fond of money, so when he heard the miller,
Hmm.
he sent for the girl to be brought before him. Off she went to the king's palace, but it was not enthusiasm that the daughter met. Instead, the king led her to a chamber where there was a great heap of straw, and he gave her a spinning wheel.
All this must be spun into gold before morning, as you love your life.
The poor maiden felt in vain, as it was only a silly boast of her father, for that she could do no such thing as spin straw into gold. But the chamber door was locked, and she was left all alone. The poor maiden began to bewail her fate in the chamber, when on a sudden the door opened, and a droll-looking little man hobbled in and said,
Good morrow to you, my good lass. What are you weeping for?
Alas, I must spin this straw into gold, and I know not how,
said she. The hobgoblin grinned.
What will you give me to do it for you?
The maiden looked at him.
My necklace. Take it.
She replied. The hobgoblin sat himself down and began to almost sing.
Round about, lo and behold, reel away, straw into gold.
The work was quickly done. The straw was all spun into gold. When the king came and saw this, he was pleased. But his heart grew still more greedy of gain, for he shut up the poor miller's daughter again with another task, another heap of straw. The maiden began to weep, but the dwarf soon opened the door and once more said,
What will you give me to do it for you?
The maiden looked worried, but the ring on her finger gleamed.
My ring!
She exclaimed. And so the little man whistled and sang again, till long before morning all was done again. The king was greatly delighted to see all this glittering treasure, but still his greed had not enough, so he took the miller's daughter to a yet larger heap and said,
All this must be spun tonight, and if it is, you shall be my queen.
He slammed the chamber door, and as soon as the maiden was alone, the dwarf came in.
What will you give me to do it for you?
I have nothing left,
said she. The little man grinned.
Then say you will give me the first child that you may have when you are queen.
The miller's daughter grimaced at the thought, but as she knew no other way to get the task done, she agreed.
All right.
The hobgoblin chuckled, and once more spun the heap into gold. The king came in the morning and found all that he wanted. He married the miller's daughter, and she really became queen. At the birth of her first little child, she was very glad, so glad that she forgot the dwarf and their deal. But one day, the little man came into her room. He had not changed one bit. He had the same old clothes, and he came into her room where she was sitting playing with her baby. The dwarf's smile put her at grief, for she finally remembered the deal. She grieved and begged the little man.
Please, I would give you all the wealth of the kingdom. Pray, allow me and my infant alone. I beg of you.
I will give you 3 days, your grace, and if during that time you tell me my name, you shall keep your child.
The request was odd indeed, but the little man's smile did not faze, for he was assured that not a single soul in the kingdom knew of his name. The queen lay awake all night, thinking of all the most odd names she had ever heard. She sent messengers all over the land to find new ones. The next day, the little man came.
Timothy, Ichabod, Benjamin, Jeremiah.
But the hobgoblin shook his head. The second day, she began again.
Bandylegs, Hunchback, Crookshanks.
But once again, the hobgoblin shook his head. The third and last day, one of the 2 messengers came back and said,
I've traveled 2 days without hearing of any other names. But yesterday, as I was climbing a high hill, I saw a little hut. And the hut burned a fire, and around the fire, a funny little dwarf was dancing upon one leg and singing.
Merrily the feast I'll make, today I'll brew, tomorrow bake. Merrily I'll dance and sing, for next day will stranger bring. Little does my lady dream, Rumpelstiltskin is my name.
When the queen heard this, she jumped for joy, and as soon as her little friend came, she sat down upon her throne and called all her court round to enjoy the fun. The hobgoblin, with an evil and satisfied and confident grin, said,
Now, lady, what is my name?
Is it John?
No, madam.
Is it Tom?
No, madam.
Is it Jeremy?
It is not.
Can your name be Rumpelstiltskin?
Some witch told you that. Some witch told you that.
cried the little man, and dashed his right foot in a rage so deep into the floor that he was forced to lay hold of it with both hands to pull it out. Then he made the best of his way off, in rage, all red, while the court cheered and the queen and nurse laughed. The queen, in final words, along with the crowd, said,
We wish you a very good morning and a merry feast, Mr. Rumpelstiltskin.
The end.